This is Radio Taiwan International. Welcome to the news on Radio Taiwan International. I'm Michelle Chang coming to you from Taipei, Taiwan. We begin with a look at today's top stories for Friday, October 10th. In his National Day address, President Lai Ching-te stated that Taiwan is committed to maintaining the status quo. Former U.S. Vice President Mike Pence cites a MacArthur memo calling Taiwan key to the Pacific's defense. And Foreign Minister Lin Chia-lung hosts a luncheon for diplomatic allied governors. But first, today's top story. President Lai Ching-te emphasized that a democratic Taiwan is a stabilizing force for peace in the region, pledging that the nation will remain committed to maintaining the status quo during the 114th National Day address on Friday, his second since taking office. In a speech titled, "A New Taiwan Rises in a Time of Change," Lai noted that this year marks the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, a lesson that remains fresh in global memory. He expressed hope that China would renounce the use of force to alter the status quo across the Taiwan Strait so both sides can jointly safeguard peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific. Lai also recalled that September 10th marked a historic milestone when the number of days Taiwan has lived free from martial law officially surpassed those under it, symbolizing a full departure from authoritarianism and an embrace of democracy and hope. He said Taiwan, forged through hardship, stands as a beacon of light for others.
民主台湾是印太和平稳定的枢纽，国际社会负责任的一员。
Democratic Taiwan is a crucial link for the peace and stability of the Indo-Pacific and a responsible member of the international community. As such, Taiwan will work to uphold the status quo, ensure peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait, and promote the prosperous development of the region. We look forward to the day when China can take responsibility as a major power and cease its distortion of United Nations, General Assembly Resolution 2758, and historical World War II documents. We also hope it will renounce the use of force or coercion to change the status quo across the Taiwan Strait so we can jointly maintain the peace and stability of the Indo-Pacific.
He also highlighted Taiwan's strong economic performance, pledging continued investment in semiconductors, ICT, and biotechnology to usher the nation into an era of smart innovation. Lai said the new defense budget would accelerate high-tech defense development, strengthen cooperation with allies, and build trust among free democracies. Concluding his remarks, Lai thanked the superheroes of disaster relief who aided recovery efforts after recent disasters, saying their compassion reflects the greatness of Taiwan. He vowed to lead the nation with unity and courage toward a brighter future. Former U.S. Vice President Mike Pence said Thursday that Taiwan will never be a bargaining chip, calling it unacceptable that more than $20 billion US or 655.7 billion NT dollars in approved American arms sales to Taiwan have yet to be delivered. Speaking at a George Mason University forum titled Why Taiwan Matters, Pence urged the new U.S. administration and members of Congress to accelerate the shipments, stressing that as the arsenal of democracy for the Indo-Pacific, the United States must do better. The remarks came ahead of an expected meeting between President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping at the APEC summit. Pence said discussions would likely focus on market access rather than changes to the U.S. military posture in the region. Recalling a past meeting with Xi in Papua New Guinea, he said Trump had asked him to deliver two messages: that Trump liked Xi very much and that China must open its markets. Pence praised Taiwan for raising its defense budget, saying it showed a clear sense of urgency and resolve for self-defense. However, he emphasized that Taiwan cannot stand alone and depends on timely U.S. support to deter aggression. Reflecting on his long support for Taiwan since his time in Congress, Pence cited a 1950 memorandum by General Douglas MacArthur, who described Formosa as an unsinkable aircraft carrier and submarine tender, vital to the defense of the Pacific. MacArthur warned that if the island fell into communist hands, it would become an enemy stronghold threatening the Philippines and Okinawa. Pence said those words remain true today. The foreign minister hosted a luncheon for visiting governors Dame Froyla Tzalam of Belize and Cyril Errol Melchiades Charles of Saint Lucia on Thursday. Both Belize and Saint Lucia are two of Taiwan's diplomatic allies, and the governors are visiting in part to participate in Taiwan's National Day celebration. Foreign Minister Lin Chia-lung said their presence was a sign of goodwill experienced between the three countries. The governors and their partners arrived in Taiwan early Thursday morning, according to a Foreign Ministry press release. Shortly after, they were welcomed at a lunch hosted by Foreign Minister Lin and his wife. At the event, Lin said that Governor Dame Tzalam's and Governor Charles' participation in Taiwan's National Day celebrations on their first visits to the country symbolized a deep friendship. He thanked the governments of Saint Lucia and Belize on behalf of Taiwan for their steadfast support of Taiwan's inclusion in international organizations. The ministry added that Lin and his wife shared meaningful exchanges with the two governors on the topics of disaster prevention and relief, indigenous culture preservation, and talent development, among others. Both visiting officials attended Taiwan's National Day celebrations on Friday morning. The Foreign Ministry said their visits gave the representatives a better understanding of Taiwan's current development in political, economic, and social fields, laying the foundation for future cooperative exchanges. President Lai Ching-te said Taiwan will safeguard the achievements of its semiconductor and ICT industries and develop into one of the world's top 5 computing power centers, ensuring the nation's continued lead in global technology. Speaking Friday at the Double 10th National Day celebration themed A New Taiwan Rises in a Time of Change, Lai called 2025 a year of Taiwan's rise. While the world faces conflicts and economic shocks, he said, the people of Taiwan have stayed resilient and achieved an economic performance that has impressed the world. Lai described Taiwan's semiconductor, ICT, and electronic component sectors as the country's collective assets, forged through decades of industrial effort. Quote, "My mission as president," he said, "is to protect these valuable achievements and use them to advance both Taiwan's and the world's growth," end quote. He announced 3 national strategies to sustain Taiwan's competitiveness: expanding domestic investment, deepening international economic and trade cooperation, and building a chain of guardian mountains to strengthen industrial capabilities. To adapt to the digital age, Lai said his administration would launch 10 new AI infrastructure projects to solidify Taiwan's leadership in global technology. The government will also develop Taiwan into an Asian asset management hub, attracting foreign investment while detaining domestic capital to drive financial growth. Lai added that biotechnology and pharmaceuticals are key national industries under the National Project of Hope, with a 10 billion NT dollar or $327 million fund to spur innovation and make biomedicine another of Taiwan's guardian mountains. The German-Taiwanese Dialogue Platform, or GTDP, debuted in Taipei on Tuesday evening. At the welcome reception, Taiwan's Deputy Foreign Minister Wu Zizong and the Director of German Institute Taipei, Carsten Tietz, both expressed their hope and support for deepening Taiwan-German ties. In his speech at the event, Wu said this is the first time the GTDP was held in Taiwan and that it would also host the Taipei German Conference, inviting the public to participate in dialogue. Wu said he believes the forum's dialogue will continue to serve as a bridge between Taiwan and German civil society, pointing out how it can help both sides address emergent challenges such as how AI reshapes democracies, consolidate Taiwan-European security and social resilience, and strengthen constitutional order. Tietz echoed the importance of the talks, emphasizing how Taiwan and Germany share values and face the challenge of a powerful authoritarian neighbor. He said Germany will firmly support Taiwan in defending its freedom and democracy. The forum co-chairs, National Taiwan University professor Li Minzong and former European Parliament member Reinhard Bütikofer thanked the foreign ministries of both countries for their support and sponsorship of the event. The GTDP was established in December 2023 in a cooperation agreement between Taiwan and Germany, with the first forum taking place last May in Berlin. This year's forum was held in Taipei and hosted representatives of parliamentary parties from both Taiwan and Germany, along with academics and professionals. 18-year-old ukulele phenomenon Feng Yi has arrived in the United States for a 16-day East Coast tour kicking off in Portland, Maine on October 11th. His concerts will also take him to New York, Philadelphia, Roanoke, Knoxville, and Nashville, the country's music mecca. Last fall, Feng completed an 11-show tour along the West Coast. He said this is his first time touring the eastern U.S. and that he hopes to have fun while building a stronger audience base. His agent, Gina Mendello, believes the young prodigy's fluent English and sense of humor make him especially suited for live performances and the American market. Feng's YouTube channel has 760,000 subscribers and more than 500 performance videos documenting his years of playing in Taiwan and around the world. However, he noted that since most of his fans have only seen him online, where performances can feature dramatic arrangements, editing, and slower pacing, live shows present new challenges. The young musician said performing live requires balancing what audiences want to hear with the technical difficulty and physical demands of each piece, recalling a hand injury he suffered at the end of last year's tour. Playing solo without vocals, he added, means keeping the audience engaged and amazed from start to finish. Feng, who appeared twice on the popular U.S. talk show The Ellen Show as a child, will also perform at the Folk Alliance International's annual gathering in New Orleans, Louisiana in January 2026, further expanding his presence in the American market. Thanks for joining me for the news. I'm Michelle Chang. Stay tuned for another 50 minutes of English language features brought to you by Radio Taiwan International.